Rural folks, what are the things city folks want understand? AskReddit, RJ Roa 21. Driving home in a storm. A tree fell across the road in front of us. Mom and daughter. The truck behind us got their chainsaws out of their toolbox and moved that tree within 15 minutes. Also, there is not cell service everywhere. Only one service works consistently from my house. I am 1150. I own a house that sits smack in the middle of 3 cattle farms the other night. I took my dog out to pee well after dark. There was a weird noise. And a pair of glowing eyes at the end of my driveway. It was, of course, a cow. I called my neighbor to the north. He drove his UTV down, inspected the cow, didn't recognize it, and called my neighbor to the south. He sent his teenage son over in a car with no catalytic converter, muffler. He also didn't recognize the cow. Finally, my neighbor from the west was summoned on his ATV. It was his cow. The rest of us stood there drinking beer and watching the western neighbor drive his cow home with an ATV. Good times. Earhorn Jones. 4197. Legitimately being late for school or appointments due to being stuck behind a tractor. Bimbalina. 7556. You or someone you know has a personal vendetta against a wild animal in the area. NFL_MVP_Kevin_White. 9516. Weird noises in the woods? Deer. Glowing eyes in the shadows? Deer. Something following you down a dark country road? Deer. It's always fucking deer. Blue lizard spaceship. 18591. Town pants. Embarrassed list 7214. 4622. Standing on my back porch in winter and there is absolute dead silence. Vankirk. 4246. You need to carefully plan out your shopping needs because that trip to Walmart or Home Depot might be a 2-hour round trip. Locked chased. 12259. Women of Reddit, what hints have you gave your crush that they missed? AskReddit, Jason is cool. My mother-in-law met my father-in-law when they both worked at a pizza place as teenagers. She was really into him, so she'd go in on her nights off to help slice tomatoes and onions, and dropped hints to him for months, but he never picked up on any of it. One night she brought Hershey Kisses and went to put them in the cooler, and asked if he'd like his kisses cold. He said, "Actually, I prefer warm kisses," so she said, "Okay," and kissed him. That was when he realized she liked him. She blushes when she tells the story, as she admits that was very unlike her, but her gut said to go for it. They've been married for 40 years. Nicomas. 9232. We snuggled all night watching a movie together. Then, when he went to leave, I tried to kiss him goodbye, but he rejected it and drove away. XA0 dejected. I went back to my room to sulk. He calls me 10 minutes later asking to meet me outside. I get outside and he shouts in disbelief, "Wait, were you trying to kiss me? Does that mean you like me?" Boy had legit driven away and called his friend because he was confused and thought I was giving mixed messages about liking him or not. Chong Mini. 16124. I bartended and I waved the tab of a regular, and when I told him his drinks were on me he made the joke, "Bet you say that to all the pretty girls." I said, "Drinks are only waived for hot people the bartender has a crush on." And he looked so confused and said he was honored to be the exception to that rule. Little Blue Bird 555. 14848. Not me, but an old best friend and roommate. Girl that had a crush on him came over to our place to use the pool. After the pool, she used his shower and left the door slightly open. She mentioned that it's really hard to wash the middle of her back. He went into my bathroom. Grabbed my long handle scrub brush and literally tossed it in the bathroom and shut the door. She finished her shower, walked up to me and handed me the brush and left. I went into his room and asked him why she just handed me my scrub brush, and he told me she needed something to scrub her back. I told him that she meant he should go scrub her back. Dude seriously looked me right in the face and said, "But she had the brush." I sent her a text that said, "My boy is unfortunately touched in the head. You need to be direct with him." She texts back, "Good to know." He comes bursting into my room a few minutes later and hands me his phone, and it says, "On my way over. Be naked." I let him have the place and went to see a movie. GRZMNKY 6210. I put his hand on my boob and he got nervous and said, how is your day?" I asked him to see my new bedspread in my room and test it out. And he was like, "Oh, I am not into that decoration type stuff. Anyway, we are engaged and expecting." Solitary Trees 2. 5247. I once asked a guy if I could kiss him. We had been hanging out in a way that was conducive to that. And he said yes. I kissed him. It was great. But then we just parted ways in a natural way. 3 days later, this man calls me all shocked that I was hitting on him. He told a friend about the interaction and they had to point it out. "Sir, I literally kissed you. I'm Fire Mario." 2933. Well, in high school my hints were to act like I couldn't stand the guy and that they were the person I found most annoying, uncrushable in the whole school. Shockingly misinterpreted. Every time. No idea why. KitKat 1122. 8512. Once, during a wedding after party, I had a girl tell me, "I was really hoping to have sex tonight." She said it to me twice. And I was just like, "Best of luck to you." I know how bad that sounds. But low self-esteem really wears on you over the years. Back then I couldn't even fathom that that girl wanted to get with me. KS Import 1714. Men of Reddit, what's the worst thing you've stuck your dick into? AskReddit, Aware Hour 4549. My ex-wife used a grapefruit on me. It was okay, but I acted like it was great. To be nice. After the divorce she told me she tried it on her new boyfriend. He didn't think it was anything special. My lie caused him to have to go through that. Lol. So, that's 2 for grapefruit. Dick Jones. 13965. Can of Pringles with 2 sponges. Spunklad. 2546. The cut-off base of a Japanese knotweed plant. I was a young naive boy and had the foggiest idea of how sex worked. I got curious and found a decent-sized knotweed plant and sliced it off at the base. I poked a stick through the membranes and it literally gushed. I had not clue what I was supposed to do, so I stuck it in and peed into the plant. Future me, God, the nature spirits, my ancestors, and George W. Bush all frowned upon me that day. Pa 1 nanopascal 1 nthr 0 Huawei. 17695. Between couch cushions, array _027, 4196. One of those kid toys with the swirling shiny liquid inside that's a tube. It burst 'cause I fucked it too hard. I had microscopic shiny glitter on my pecker for about a month. Worst luck Chuck. 9166. Vacuum cleaner when I was 11 or 12. Came to get my dick sucked. Didn't even get hard. Accidentally pissed into the vacuum cleaner instead. Vacuum cleaner broke. Had to hide the real crime. Threw the vacuum cleaner down the stairs. You know. To make things better, mom comes home. Finds vacuum cleaner half fucked and wholly stinking of piss. Still plugged into the outlet. Of course. Child. Why is the VC fucked and stinky? She queried. Mother. I know not. for I do not partake in such frivolities. Cleaning, and the such, as you well know, deafening. Murderous silence as the lie clears her scanners. Perfect crime. Tengu Druid. 6625. Op over here trying to figure out what else he can stick his dick into. Ruan 2906. 12971. A watermelon. JJ Bechtline. 2628. 8. What's the creepiest thing you've heard someone at your job say? AskReddit. Greasy Toby. More unsettling than creepy TBH. I was checking the voicemail at the dialysis clinic when I opened one morning because sometimes our patients will leave us a message the night before if they know they're going to be late or miss treatment. Sweet elderly patient had left a message that said, "I am sorry ladies. I want to make it tomorrow morning. I am going to see Hazel." Hazel was his wife who passed away 4 years earlier. I immediately called house, no answer. Called his son that was listed as an emergency contact and he tells me he was just about to call us to let us know his father passed away in the night. His dad had gotten all of his paperwork with his will out of his safe, watered the houseplants, put money for each of his utility payments in labeled envelopes, put on his best suit, shined his dress shoes, left a message for us at the clinic, left a message for his choir director letting him know he wouldn't need a ride to practice in 2 days. Then he sat down in his recliner and died. As far as I know and according to his family, he didn't do or take anything to expedite his exit. He just went to sleep in that recliner. Ginniper. 7175. When I worked at Ford, there was a dude that walked around showing other co-workers videos of him fucking other women. On my first day, he also kept saying, "If we both had life in prison I'd butt fuck you." Then kept desperately trying to explain how that's somehow not gay. Dude was weird. Not the Sun Zero. 7471. Open casket funeral. Family gathered and someone seemed out of sorts. She was dressed casually and just kind of meandering about. I observed her for a while. She made her way to the casket and appeared to be giving the deceased some reverence. She then had to pass by me to leave and she was clearly inebriated and said to me as she was leaving, "I just wanted to see a dead body." Gave me the drunk girl grin and staggered off. She just staggered into a funeral off the street. Who does that? Funeral director. Scallywag 357. 5218. Make the kid in the corner shut up. The old lady at 3 a.m. as she points to the empty corner. There was no kid. She passed not long after. Honestly, this kinda thing happens a lot. You start seeing ghosts. I'm putting the crash cart in front of your door. Taco Call SC. 7690. I told a manager I'd forgotten to do something and he sent me a reply saying, "That's okay because you're going to repay me by..." Wink emoji. He's a 55-year-old man and I am 25. Helpful gem. 2549. Said before the company potluck. You know you can kill someone by putting eye drops in their food. Ordinary horse. 2422. Here is mine. Working on an ambulance 5150 call. Everything is going well till he starts talking to himself. I ask him about a cool demon tattoo. He says that the demon is the one he is talking to. He wants me to kill you before we get to the hospital. But I keep telling him that you seem like a good guy just wanting to help people and he still wants me to kill you. Proof abroad 4766. 4258. Had an old coworker talk about his wife's labiaplasty. He described it as it's like fucking a 12 years old. Definitely made a few people do a double take. Panzer Biscuit 1232.